What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's showtime. It's the Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're here for the season finale of Call of the Night. And I would assume there might be another season. Haven't heard anything yet, but we'll see. But in the last episode, Ko isn't not a vampire yet. Like, it seems that there's things of vampire qualities bearing within him, but he has not fully turned yet. Like, his emotions flickered during the incident where he got shot, so he survived and even borderline turned for a brief moment, but plot. So I am hoping we hear something about season 3 at some point. But that said, we'll get back into this since I imagine a lot of things are going to be very happy-go-lucky, other than maybe some sort of revolution? Yeah, revolution from Nazuna or Mejiro or somebody. But let's find that out. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, let the whole video run through the limit to watch them because it's highly appreciated and helpful, and get to it. Meanwhile, after they have their time out drinking together, Ko has to handle this. Which, I mean, all things considering, not really so bad. And also, why is he carrying her instead of Nazuna, who has more strength than he does, realistically? So they brought her back to Nazuna's place. I guess that makes sense. Oh, that's why they felt the need to put up the warning, because she's using the fact that she was just in a bad place and is drunk to guilt one of them to stay with her while they go buy water. They don't have running water where she's staying? Whack. Does she think she'll be weird with Nazuna? Probably. Between the whole vampire thing and having been in love with her thing, those two things and her being drunk, emotions could go crazy. Well, on a general sense, she literally just hoed Ko out. But, yeah, Nazuna know it ain't gonna get weird. Probably. For the Patreon side, however, I am going to be listening to this since it is the season finale. You know how it goes. Intro and outro we listen to in the first and last episode to show respect at minimum for the people who created them when applicable. That said, let's listen to it, because honestly, I think the intro of the show is a pretty good song. I add to my playlist. Kind of a jam. You know, there really was a lot of foreshadowing for the Yuri happening during the whole season, wasn't there? Honestly, mixing that more into the seriousness of things, never a bad idea. Can think of a couple of other instances of that. Are we really getting an entire recap of the last couple of seasons worth of episodes from him telling the detective a story in her drunken episode? Right. I mean, I guess that's an interesting way to handle a last episode of the season. Okay, didn't expect after the whole, like, recap of what happened for her to go into some sort of emotional thought process on what really differentiates the young from the grown up, which is basically TLDR from what she said, a matter of experience, which is something she wishes to have more of, other than, you know, her dedication to taking care of vampire kind. That, yeah. Plus, all thought processes aside of, you know, how good looking she is, she also, even in a drunk state, is probably rational enough to, like, A, she's not into guys, so there's that. B, she loves Nazuna too much, so she wouldn't disrespect her like that. And C, the age thing. Okay, so I guess the warning at the beginning was valid because she did just re-go over everything in her mind and not gonna give the whole explanation of it. Y'all know where to go for, actually seeing that whole bit, whether it be somewhere to watch the anime yourself or the Patreon side, because hey, that helps out a lot. Yeah, I do vibe with a lot of the things she was talking about, because, like, when you dedicate yourself a lot to one thing and have a hatred towards things, it does tend to waste a lot of time, so being human is hard, and only having thought processes of not enjoying life when you have too much time to think, it's not really a constructive thing overall. That's why you gotta just drive yourself into doing something, which is what she did with vampires, which overall, not for the best. She should have spent that time looking for the one. Not like she had any idea of how, but she could have figured it out. Fuck do you mean you owe us one? We're not here to work. We're here to spend a little while just to chill after everything that happened. We have a drunk sleeping detective who we probably shouldn't have left alone, but we did anyway because she's drunk and asleep. And yeah. Meanwhile, Nazuna did get roped into it. Okay, I'm gonna take away from the seriousness of, the warning that was mentioned in the beginning. I do just have to say, her boobs are kind of confusing sometimes. Like, they're always nice, don't get me wrong with that, but, like, with her usual getup, they're not as presented. Here, they're more presented. The nurse's outfit, they were sometimes, the time she was in a bikini, they were presented pretty nicely from what I remember. It just weren't a lot, and they are never consistent on how they're presented. I know that's a weird thing to mention, but it's the season finale, so, like, I feel like I wouldn't have had any other time to bring that thought up. Like, I might be crazy, but I feel they're never presented the same way every time. I didn't realize before how scrunched together his face really was. Like, one, the expression kind of has more of an 80s anime vibe to it, which is hilarious. Yeah, I never realized how just in one area his face was. I don't know why Ko would even ask what makes someone qualified to work at a maid cafe in the first place, other than them being cute. Like, that's kind of the general concept, isn't it? Is to be cute at minimum. But very philosophical answer. Okay, to be fair, Kabura is A, your motherly figure, but also B, and more questionable, having said the first thing, interested in you in other ways as well. Like, I am going to say there's a lot of really good messages and sweet meanings to a lot of the stuff in this show, but there is also a lot of really interesting concepts, like Kabura and Nazuna's connection. Technically? What do you mean was? She's just sitting there, awake, alone now. Doesn't she have her cell phone or something? See, he's plot for season 3 right there. Yeah, you can't really have an embarrassed reaction and flip backward or something, or this shit happens. Well, season 2 did end off on a good note, despite all the times I brought up the thing about, prevention and mental health and all that, which are very good things to keep in mind indeed, and people do not adhere to that as much as they should, because, well, it wouldn't need to be prevented if the thoughts of it weren't, formed in people's heads in the first place. So to say, yeah, no, stop being shitty to people who don't deserve it. Like, if somebody deserves to have shit talked to them, that's one thing. But don't just be an asshole to somebody, because that's 99% of the time what causes those thoughts to get in people's heads. Because whether it stems from depression, loneliness, or what have you, that's what it is a lot of the time. Other times, I said 99% of the time, and that's not, well, I mean, I guess. But there's also the things that happen to, like, people that stem from war or something, and those are, like, unrelated to that, but also sort of related to that. I'm not going to get into all the discussion right now, but basically, if you can help it, just do so. There shouldn't need to be a hotline. People should just help the people that are feeling that way if they can. And if they can't, they should try to extend and find somebody that can. Because not everything is a hard problem to solve, and a lot of it is just something people need to work through. But I come from my own personal opinion on that end of things, because a lot of my mental health issues are solvable. It's just extremely difficult to do so. But getting off from the seriousness of things, giving us a plot point for a potential season 3 is really cool, and I hope we do get to see that. I hope the detective eventually, like, maybe meets up with the good guys as a whole. Maybe they, like, come to some agreement so some of them can help get her information on somebody who might have done something like that to her father to cause the whole incident. Because I know it's a self-titled episode and those are usually finales, but you never know. You can let me know your thoughts about everything and more in the comment section down below, as well as, of course, about shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the other stuff in the description, ring bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, and Blue Sky, keep updated with things, TikTok, Patreon, get the full unedited visual and audio of the stuff I upload here. Twitch, subscribe for benefits, can just go Twitch Prime for free, and until next time, it's been the Blazer King with King's Critiques. Out for now. Peace.